स्टडी IQ IAS, अब तैयारी हुई अफोर्डेबल।
So welcome to this interaction, Saurabh. Rank 23 at the age of 23. Remarkable achievement है। लाखों एस्पिरेंट जिस ख्वाहिश को लेकर चल रहे हैं, मेहनत कर रहे हैं, आप वहां पर फाइनली पहुंच गए हैं। सो कैसा महसूस कर रहे हैं? मतलब लाइफ में एक सडन चेंज आया होगा, तो कैसा रहा कल से लेकर आज तक का समय?
Sir, it has been very surreal and very magical, to say the least. And I don't really know how these 24 hours have literally flown. And it believes that everything which has happened has faded away from this memory because everything has happened so quick and so fast.
हम्म।
And everyone is super happy, sir, and everyone in my family, my friends, my teachers, everyone is very happy. A lot of calls are coming. I've never experienced this before. And just a small correction, sir. I'll turn 23 in August this year, so I'm just
अरे
22 years 9 months, I believe. So yeah.
So we should say rank 23 at the age of 22.
Yes, sir. Just a
Running.
small correction. I thought it should be.
ओके ओके, ग्रेट ग्रेट। सो स्टार्ट करते हैं आपकी जर्नी से। सो आपने कब सोचा था कि सिविल सर्विस एग्जाम क्लियर करना है?
Sir, so my elder brother is also in the service. His name is Mr. Pushkar Sharma. He's an IPS officer of 2018 batch. And incidentally, it was the same year when I entered into IIT Delhi. So 2018 was a very special year for our family because my elder brother made into the IPS and I made into IIT Delhi. So incidentally, sir, that was the time when I
हम्म।
firmly thought of giving this exam because he was a very close and a very big source of motivation, sir.
आपका ही फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट था, तो स्टूडेंट्स को बता पाएंगे कि आपने कौन सी चीजों पर खास ध्यान दिया? जैसे कि आपके एल्डर ब्रदर पहले से ही क्लियर कर चुके थे, तो क्या उन्होंने कुछ नुआंसेस आपसे शेयर किए थे जो आप एस्पिरेंट्स के साथ शेयर करेंगे, जिससे वो गलतियां ना दोहराएं?
Yes, sir. Sir, I think what I did, I think a bit different was I gave a lot of tests. So for prelims, I gave about 30 to 40 tests, sir. And in mains, it was close to, sir, 45 tests, full length tests. These are.
हम्म।
And even in mocks, sir, I gave a lot of mocks. Since this was my first attempt, so I thought that let's not keep anything for future. Let's give it all this time.
हम्म। हम्म।
This was one thing, sir, that I believe that practice. I emphasize a lot on practice, and a lot of times what happens is when we are studying, so we get indulged in reading a lot,
हम्म।
but we often forget to solve the questions or write the questions or to speak it out, for that matter, in interview.
हम्म।
So I think, sir, that has helped me. And secondly, sir, I have throughout have had a positive attitude. So there's whole of this rumor that this exam is very unpredictable and this and that, a lot of things, which is partially true as well.
हम्म।
But if one keeps thinking about it all day long, then a problem arises. So my mantra, which my brother had also advised me, that just concentrate, put your head down on the table, and just study and forget all these things, whether results will come or not, or what will happen. So a sense of positive attitude has also been there in me throughout.
तो क्लियर बात है कि जो एस्पिरेंट्स इसको देख रहे हैं इंटरव्यू तो आपको अपने माइंड को इतनी लग्जरी नहीं देनी है टाइम की कि वो आप ओवर थिंक करें,
Yes,
क्योंकि
sir.
बार बार ख्याल तो आते ही रहते हैं, बट अल्टीमेटली यू हैव टू फोकस ऑन वर्क।
Yes, sir.
स्पेसिफिक्स पे जाते हैं थोड़ा सा। सो जैसे आपने प्रीलिम्स की तैयारी स्टार्ट की थी, तो आपने कब से कब तक अपना सिलेबस कंप्लीट कर लिया था, प्रीलिम्स और मेंस दोनों का? और प्रीलिम्स के लिए टेस्ट आपने कब से किए, मेंस के लिए टेस्ट आपने कब से किए, तो उसका थोड़ा डिटेल बताइए प्लीज।
Yes. Sir, this I think would be a bit different in my case because I was also working for some time after my college. So I had started my preparation in college itself. The year would be, I think, 2019, sir. I think specifically 5 years before this day. So, but I won't say it was like a full 5 years journey because in college a lot of things happen. College curriculum is there. You get a lot of assignment, tests, quizzes, etc. A lot of time went to that as well, and extracurricular activities and all those things. Then placements, all those things happen. So I would say, sir, I was preparing side by side, and by the time I passed out, I had pretty much studied all of the syllabus of GS and optional. So this I had in mind that when I come out of college, I should have the notes ready for all the things, so that whenever I decide to quit my job, the only thing that would be left is to practice and clear it, because I'll
Great.
have all the notes ready.
Hmm.
So this is essentially what I did. I resigned in April last year, and in the 2 months of prelims, in 1 month I revised all the notes because I had already made them, and in 1 month I gave a lot of tests.
Hmm.
And same for main, sir. In 1 month I revised my optional and ethics, and then I started giving tests. From
आई होप अभी सौरभ के आंसर से क्लैरिटी मिली होगी उन स्टूडेंट्स को जो अभी ग्रेजुएशन में है। तो कई सारे लोग इसी डायलेमा में रहते हैं कि शायद एक साल बाद में देंगे, मतलब जस्ट एग्जाम से एक साल पहले हम करेंगे और दैट वुड बी सफिशिएंट। एडवाइस वुड बी कि जैसे सौरभ ने, जब उनको लगा कि कर देना चाहिए स्टार्ट, तो उन्होंने कर दिया था। तो ग्रेजुएशन के दौरान इन्होंने अपना जीएस और ऑप्शनल का सिलेबस कंप्लीट कर लिया था, और उसके बाद प्रैक्टिस प्रैक्टिस प्रैक्टिस, जिससे वो स्किल सेट आपका बन गया था, मतलब हाउ टू यूज दैट कंटेंट इन प्रीलिम्स, मेंस, एंड डेफिनेटली इट हेल्प एट द लेवल ऑफ इंटरव्यू एज वेल।
yes,
ग्रेट।
sir.
अब या आप कुछ कहना चाह रहे हैं?
Sir, just one more caveat to this, sir.
या या
So this I had done because I had made my mind that I want to appear for civil
यस।
services. So there is another set of people, and that number is huge, which are in two minds whether we should have like we should go for a startup, or we should do some job, or or go for civil services, or do something else in life. So for them, sir, I would advise to first explore all the areas, and then if you have decided that you want to give civil services, then use the time appropriately. And if you have decided for anything else, even an early start in that field will also help. So, sir,
एग्जैक्टली।
like many people ask me that in college it's a time for enjoyment also. So all of that is very important, and all that will not come back. So you have to balance it out. But if you have a goal in mind, and you want to do it, and you're very sure about it, so I think starting early helps a lot. At least it did in my case, sir.
डेफिनेटली हर किसी की जर्नी अलग है, बट अगर आपने क्लैरिटी ले ली है कि ये करना है, तो उसमें फिर लग जाइए, उसमें डिले मत कीजिए। पॉइंट इज दैट। और जैसे कि आपने कहा कि आपने, मतलब आपने सोच लिया था कि ये मेरा फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट है और ऑल इन होगा इसमें ही,
Yes,
तो मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि आप उसमें डिले करना चाहिए। खैर, अबाउट टेस्ट सीरीज, तो आपने कहा कि ऑप्शनल के लिए आपने प्रीलिम्स और मेंस के बीच में टेस्ट दिए थे, और
yes,
ऑप्शनल की तैयारी आपने प्रीलिम्स से पहले ही कर ली थी। एक
yes.
कॉमन सवाल स्टूडेंट्स का होता है कि कम से कम कितनी बार रिवीजन करें, मतलब जीएस का और ऑप्शनल का कम से कम। ऑल्दो इसका कोई फिक्स नंबर नहीं है, बट वी आर आस्किंग फॉर यू, मतलब आपने क्या किया?
Sir, the answer lies in your question that there is no fixed number to this,
हम्म।
and it's very subjective upon the memory of the person, sir. And
हम्म।
we have to acknowledge that each one of us is different. We have our own strengths and weaknesses.
हम्म।
So, for instance, sir, in my case, if I say, so I have a very bad short-term memory, but I have a very good long-term memory. What I mean by this is, let's say if I get some number flashes on my screen today, right now. So it's very like many people would just see it and remember it and speak it right now itself. But I'm that kind of person would find it very difficult. But let's say I'm seeing it for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and I'm seeing it daily. Then you can even ask me after 10 years, I'll be able to tell it.
हम्म।
So it depends on which type of personality type or memory function you have, and totally dependent on that, sir. But
हम्म।
I think so for any text that we read, first time when we are reading it, so it goes into comprehending and understanding and bringing building all those linkages. And I think second time is when we do the recall thing. So two
हम्म।
is the minimum number, and it can go to 5, 6, 10 depending upon how much you are efficient, how much attention you are giving. So this is also a thing that many people say that we have revised that book 10 times, but what happens is you were not reading it properly when you were reading it for the fifth time. You were not having that attention. So
हम्म।
eventually, what happened was you marked that question incorrect, and you had to read it sixth time. So having a proper care of whether we are actually attentive of what we are reading is also very important, sir. Because sometimes we often tend to fool ourselves that okay, we have read this book for 10 times, but we were
हम्म।
not careful enough, and it happened to me as well, sir, a lot of times.
So it is quite simple कि ultimately there are several layers of our learning. सबसे
Yes,
सबसे पहले आप रीड करते हो तो कुछ अंडरस्टैंडिंग बनती है, फिर जब मल्टीपल रीडिंग होती है तो एसिमिलेशन होता है, उसका इंटरलिंकेज बनता है, फिर एनालिसिस बनता है, तब जाकर कहीं आप अप्लाई करने लगते हो जब क्वेश्चंस की बात आती है। तो मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि इफ दे आर रीडिंग से 2 बार रिवीजन कर लिया। क्वेश्चन पूछने का पर्पस ये था कि कुछ स्टूडेंट्स 1 से 2 बार रिवाइज करके ओवर कॉन्फिडेंट हो जाते हैं, और कुछ स्टूडेंट्स 1 से 2 बार रिवाइज करने के बाद उनको लगता है कि यार आई एम नॉट एबल टू रिकॉल, तो शायद आई एम नॉट मेड अप फॉर दिस गेम। तो ऐसा नहीं है, मतलब
Yes, right.
अल्टीमेटली यू हैव टू कीप वर्किंग।
Yes.
ग्रेट। अबाउट कंटेंट, सौरभ, एक डिलेमा है स्टूडेंट्स में कि ऑनलाइन जो समय बिताया जाता है आजकल, राइट, फॉर सोर्सिंग कंटेंट, तो वो सही में स्टूडेंट्स को एज दे रहा है, या फिर फोकसिंग ऑन स्पेसिफिक कंटेंट सोर्सेज और उसको बार बार रिवाइज करना आपके लिए क्या रहा?
Uh, Sir, this is a very loaded question because it has many layers and parts to it. So,
हम्म।
one aspect and one school of thought is that you focus on minimum and you do that multiple times. People have done that and cleared this exam. But there is another school of thought which says that hey, the demand of the exam is changing every year, every day, and whatnot, and you have to continuously update yourself. Whatever your magazine you're reading, maybe it's not up to date, and maybe the demand has shifted, and so on and so forth. So, sir, having a, having a madhyam mark in this and balance is the key, sir. And you have to have a particular eye on what is going on in the market also, but you have to also not switch gears too fast.
हम्म।
But it also shouldn't happen that you are like something new happened in the market and you're not aware of it. That very good test series was there and you didn't give it, or
हम्म।
so that aspect has also to be there. But I think, sir, sticking to your own notes, and that is also very important, sir. So
हम्म।
I've tried to balance it out, sir, but I at times failed also in that, because sometimes I rushed for too much content at times in some places, and sometimes I was too stubborn to switch to look to new things. So both the things happened, sir.
गॉट इट। सो ये फेलियर सक्सेस चलता रहता है ड्यूरिंग दिस जर्नी। आपने नोट्स की बात की कि अपने नोट्स पर रिलाई किया, तो अपने नोट्स बनाने का कितना ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंस है? क्योंकि आजकल क्योंकि कंपाइल्ड नोट्स मिल जाते हैं, माइंड मैप्स मिल जाते हैं, तो कितने सारे स्टूडेंट्स अपने नोट्स ही नहीं बना रहे, वो केवल उसको अंडरलाइन करते हैं, राइट? तो
Yes.
आपकी जर्नी में इसका क्या रोल रहा?
So I have followed the old school conventional method of making handwritten notes, and I think it works because there is certain muscle memory in your mind. So
हम्म।
if you have written it in your own handwriting, and if you see it again, there are greater chances that you will remember it.
हम्म।
So, sir, especially if you are not able to make complete notes, at least you make sticky notes or short notes and paste it on your wall in your own handwriting,
हम्म।
and I think that helps a lot, because when I look back I see the text which I had underlined I have forgotten very fast, but the text
एग्जैक्टली।
which I have written like handwritten, it must have taken a lot of time, approx 2x time, but I think the recall value was much more.
एग्जैक्टली, इट विल डिलीवर द वैल्यू। अबाउट करंट अफेयर्स, सो कई स्टूडेंट जैसे ही जर्नी में आते हैं तो वो न्यूज़पेपर से नोट्स बनाना स्टार्ट करते हैं, दे आर वेरी हार्ड वर्किंग, लेकिन उस समय पता ही नहीं होता कि क्या इंपॉर्टेंट है और क्या नहीं, तो इस वजह से बहुत ज्यादा वो नोट्स में लिखते जा रहे हैं। सो आपने उसको कैसे डिड्यूस किया कि क्या करना चाहिए?
Sir, it's very true that so when we start our preparation, so one thing a lot of people, and including me, what we do is because everyone says that newspaper is very important, and it is important actually,
या।
but we don't realize it how it is actually important. So if someone has not studied, let's say, economy, polity, and all the basic subjects, their understanding of newspaper would be very basic,
हम्म।
and we won't be able to grasp the core of that newspaper article and news items and all. So what I did, like, I also made mistakes and learned in the course of it, but what I learned was that when you are in the initial stages of preparation, when you're just starting, or let's say 3 months, 4 months, you do read the newspaper to keep yourself aware of what's happening in the world. Don't take notes. And when you have completed with all the subjects like economy, polity, and you have the class notes or your hand notes written to it, then whatever you see in the newspaper, and link it with the original notes of class and write it there itself. You leave
हम्म।
some space while you are preparing the notes and write it there itself, so that it gets compiled at one place. So this is the best way, I think, sir, to cover newspaper.
I think to sum up, we can say that कि rather than having a separate compilation of notes daily,
Yes.
आपको अपने कंटेंट को बेसिकली कंसाइज करना है, ज्यादा शार्प रखना है टू द डिमांड ऑफ यूपीएससी, तो इसी वजह से जो आपके बेस नोट्स हैं वहीं पर स्पेस होना चाहिए, जो रेगुलर आप वहीं पर अपडेट करते रहें, चाहे वो स्टिकी नोट्स हो या किसी और तरीके से, बट दैट्स द रूल। ग्रेट। सो सौरभ, फाइनली जो इंटरव्यू वाली स्टेज थी, तो मॉक इंटरव्यू में आए, डीएफ आपका देखा, इंटरव्यू का एक्सपीरियंस कैसा रहा वहां पर, कुछ बताएंगे?
Sir, it interview was one of the most interesting part of the preparation, and I gave a lot of mocks. Even I was associated with StudyIQ. I think I didn't give a mock, but I was associated with the smaller groups which were formed at StudyIQ.
हम्म।
And eventually, I found a lot of close friends eventually in that course of 2 3 months because we used to discuss daily current affairs.
हम्म।
And incidentally, two of us cleared also, apart from me. So like three people from that group cleared. So it was a very good moment. And a lot of people, like the whole group was very active, and we were very cooperative, and we were helping each other out. So that was the part in the preparation phase. And at the time of interview, it was the board of Mr. Shilvardhan sir,
हम्म।
honorable member Shilvardhan sir. And the interview, I think, lasted for about 30 minutes, and about 50% of the questions were from my DAF only. So I was a bit lucky in that aspect. Although a lot of questions were from my DAF, but they were too deep. So I mean, like despite having those hobbies, I thought I couldn't handle them well. But I don't know how they felt of those questions. And the rest 50% of the questions were completely out of the blue. And
Example of those questions, if you can give.
yes, sir. So, for example, I have written journaling as one of my hobbies. So, I was asked, name one famous writer who has kept two diaries and why. So, I haven't heard of this. And similarly, I had written on Vipassana meditation. So, the question was, how is it different from Ashtangic Yoga? So, I hadn't done Ashtangic Yoga. I simply said I didn't know.
हम्म।
Then one hobby I had written writing ghazal. So in that there was this question that why is the case that one line of a ghazal becomes very famous while the other doesn't. So this also exact answer I like the chairman was not very satisfied with that answer.
Okay.
This is what I felt, but I tried to give that answer whatever I knew. And
Okay.
this was a question which I
What,
haven't never
what,
heard because
what answer did you give to that question?
it has been some time, so I'll try to recollect. Actually, I had said that so ghazals. So if a particular line is there, why is it becoming famous? So because there is an easy language which can reach to the masses, which can connect to the masses,
हम्म।
and that is why it is very much relatable to one's life,
हम्म।
and that is why that particular line or share gets very famous. While
हम्म।
other could have some tough words which people may not be able to grasp, and that is
हम्म।
why it gets forgotten, or it is too philosophical to be related to.
Got it.
So the chairman had said that maybe you can think about it later. So I got a bit disheartened at that point of time.
Got it. So you were having journey in McKinsey, so
Yeah.
among the top consultancies across the world. तो एक अभी एक रिसेंट डिबेट चल रही थी कि यूपीएससी को एज अ करियर लेना चाहिए कि नहीं लेना चाहिए। ऐसा तो नहीं, काफी ज्यादा टैलेंट हमारे देश का वेस्ट हो रहा है इस जर्नी में, बिकॉज देयर आर अदर ऑप्शंस, स्टार्टअप्स भी हो सकते हैं, टॉप एमएनसीज हो सकती हैं। तो अगर मैकेंजी की बात करें, आपकी जर्नी की बात करें, तो मनी वाइज यू कुड हैव डन वे बेटर देयर, राइट? सो इसके
Yes.
बाद भी आपने सिविल सर्विसेज को चुना, राइट? एंड यू आर क्वाइट सेटिस्फाइड, योर फेस इज सेइंग दैट, राइट? तो ऐसा क्यों है, मतलब वो एक उसका रीजन बताइए आप स्टूडेंट्स को।
Uh, Sir, personally, in my case, McKinsey came much later than my preparation. So, had it been
हम्म।
the case that I have not prepared for this exam and I had gotten into McKinsey, maybe I would have continued. I don't know how the life spans out or
हम्म।
how all the luck and all those things happen.
हम्म।
But since I had made up my mind that I want to give this exam,
हम्म।
and I had been preparing in college, so
हम्म।
I had already invested a lot of time, energy, emotion into this exam. And
हम्म।
despite getting into that job, it was a very high flying job and a lot of good perks, and I enjoyed my time there completely. And
हम्म।
a lot of learning opportunities as well, monetary aspects as well, and a lot of other things as well. But since I had made up my mind that I'll definitely give this exam, so eventually that made me make the decision of quitting that job.
Got it. सौरभ, स्टडी आईक्यू ने किस तरीके से कंट्रीब्यूट किया आपकी जर्नी में?
सर जैसे मैंने बताया, जो स्मॉल ग्रुप्स जो बने थे,
ओके ओके, जो
उनमें
कोहोर्ट्स बने हुए थे डिस्कशन के,
yes
मेंटरिंग
sir,
के।
उनमें से
ओके ओके,
some of the very good friends which I'll remember for life were formed from that study IQ,
ग्रेट
for which I'm grateful to that
ग्रेट
institute.
ग्रेट ग्रेट। सो वी एट स्टडी आईक्यू विशिंग यू अ ग्रेट इम्पैक्टफुल लाइफ अहेड। और सेशन को एंड करेंगे आपकी किसी गजल से। आपने कहा गजल लिखते हो आप।
जी सर, सर ये मैंने सुनाई भी है मॉक इंटरव्यूज में। तो रोशन हो हर कोना, चिराग ऐसा जलाया जाए। रोशन हो हर कोना, चिराग ऐसा जलाया जाए। चंद मकां तक ना हो पाबंद, त्योहार ऐसा मनाया जाए। चंद मकां तक ना हो पाबंद, त्योहार ऐसा मनाया जाए। भूलो रंजिशें आओ हाथों से हाथ मिलाए। भूलो रंजिशें आओ हाथों से हाथ मिलाए। दुनिया मिसाल दी जिसकी, विकसित भारत ऐसा बनाया जाए।
ग्रेट, मैनी कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशन सौरभ।
थैंक
सो
यू,
सी यू समटाइम सून। बेस्ट
थैंक यू सर,
विशेस।
थैंक यू सो मच, थैंक यू, लवली इंटरेक्टिंग विद यू सर।
या
Okay,
सेम।
Saurabh, thank you, man.
थैंक यू
And that ghazal was amazing, Saurabh. The ghazal
थैंक
was
यू
amazing. And
थैंक
all the best. And whenever you are in Delhi, you are free to welcome us to like meet us at our Study IQ office. Sorry, I have been
No, no problem, sir.
with the
I'll
moment.
welcome you.
Sorry. Yeah, yeah, definitely. You welcome us at Lavasna. We'll welcome you in our offices. Okay?
Yes,
Anytime.
yes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Saurabh.
ओके,
Thank you so much, sir.
Take care, take care. Bye, bye.
स्टडी IQ IAS, अब तैयारी हुई अफोर्डेबल।